Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Falling forward. I'd like to share with you this evening a few of the high points in my career as a teacher. It was actually my mom who encouraged me to be a teacher. She said, "Connie, you would make a great teacher, and it's also something that you can always fall back on. The skills are very portable, and they'll probably serve you well. They will adapt well to your life situations." So I took her advice. I graduated from University of New Brunswick in Fredericton 100 years ago, and I launched my career in teaching. I just want to share a few of the more significant times in my teaching career. The first I'll share with you is when I was offered a position in Halifax, Nova Scotia to teach high school. And besides my regular slotting in of classes, what I was hired to do, I was also given a special class of teenage boys. And these were boys who had been moved around from various foster homes, one to another when they were growing up. And they had some special problems. And my task with this special class was to teach them or help them with some life skills. I remember when I met the first boy who was in this class, and he said to me, "Mrs. McKelman, I have been shipped from one community to another school, and to another." And I thought the language he used was almost painful. He felt he had been shipped from one school to another, as though he were a piece of cargo who had been transported around for the convenience of others. It went straight to my heart, and it was then that I learned, and I have reflected upon over the years, that a teacher's role is very much to be an encourager and to build confidence in students. Another example I'd like to share with you in my career was actually when I lived in Ottawa, and I wasn't actually teaching, but I was running a bed and breakfast. And this was a wonderful position in hospitality to have, to invite people to stay, have short-term stays at our home. And I kept listening to my guests, and they kept telling me over and over, "Connie, I've always wanted to have a bed and breakfast, but I don't know how to do it." So I thought, aha, there is a niche market, and I would bring myself back into teaching. I decided to create a course in teaching bed and breakfast management training. I had a 3-day course, I had a 5-day course, and I was away to the races, enjoying it very, very much. My first student, actually, I was very intimidated when I was expecting my first student. He had written and told me that he spoke many languages. He was a retired diplomat, and he had traveled and served Canada in many, many different countries in the world. Well, I thought, how can I serve this huge mind? How can I teach this student? My husband said to me at the time, "Connie, you are a good teacher. You have a body of knowledge that he wants. Now, just do it." So of course I did, and it was wonderful. I'd probably still be doing this now, except that about 5 years ago, my husband passed away very suddenly. So for me, everything in my life changed. I no longer wanted to teach. I no longer wanted to have a business. And what was that for?
Change.
Oh, change. Of course, change. Well, it was change for me, because I did pick myself up and move to Vancouver. I felt I was leaving a lot behind, but I was still carrying a backpack of teaching skills that I could polish up and renew and refresh. And here in Vancouver, I decided I would teach ESL to students, to international students. I did that, and I was extremely excited when I was graduating with my diploma to teach ESL after studying for a year. In the audience when I was graduating, there was my mother, there was one of my daughters, and there was my little granddaughter. And when I was receiving my diploma, I heard in the hall this little voice saying, "Go, Nana, go." And I thought, I'm in the right place. And just in conclusion, I would like to say that I feel as though I breathe teaching. I enjoy it so much. I am using my portable skills. I am adapting them to my new situation here in Vancouver, and I am moving forward. Mr. Toastmaster.